The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Welcome to the Weekend Podcast. I'm joined by Paddy, Peter, Steve. You're all lads.
Yes, hello.
Happy weekend.
Yeah, and next week, boys, it's symptomatic of the lockdown easing. I don't know if it'll happen, though. Of course, we're doing it live and direct. And Steve's going to bring all his kit down, and his cameras, and his kit as well. He often brings his kit down. If you'd leave your kit behind, Steve, it's not, it's a family house, this is.
Yeah.
Don't bring your kit with you. It's not appropriate. That kind of mask you're wearing at night. Right, I'm going to bed now, guys. Puts his pyjamas on. It's a gimp mask and, a PVC suit. Steve, just wear normal pyjamas, yeah? But no, hopefully next week we'll be doing it in the summer house at the end there. Steve, there's plenty of room in the summer house. You say, just squash out a bit. Steve said, I don't know if there's enough room for four of us. We've never done a four-way before, have we?
Well, from what I remember, Pete, we're usually quite comfortably together, aren't we? When we're in
I showed you a picture. There's gaps there. We can get more comfortable.
Yeah, and I'm on the end of the table, so Paddy's going to be literally. Yeah,
that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's not a
two
problem.
on either end, two in the middle.
And what about Paddy's MacBook? We usually have a MacBook each, don't we?
Steve, I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill here. You really do. And you zoom out a bit. Just for the back, zoom out. It's fine.
Yeah, just move the camera back.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, that's the problem, though. It's against the wall pad.
Zoom out then. Use a zoom feature. There's a zoom feature on those cameras, Steve. You know that. Well, I don't know if you know that, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I know it's quite expensive camera you've got there, because I assume it's got that zoom feature in it, because even my iPhone has.
Yeah.
Let's. Okay, some of the subjects on the Weekend Podcast, boys, is investing in the future, hugging, mindset, the second jab, the Indian variant, why sell a good business, and Wales keeping it local. By the way, I woke up, I got to bed relatively early, because I get relatively early. I read in bed. I don't know if your iPhone does this. It goes into sleep mode, so I don't see anyone texting me after like 8 o'clock or 8:30. I don't see that unless it's like driving mode. It doesn't. But I woke up on I think Friday morning, and this was the text interchange between Paddy and Pete. This is Paddy. I'm going to make you an offer. I'm going to give you all the money, but I want 106% of the company. This is Pete. Where's the catch? If the company hits its targets, I'll let you buy 7% of your company back off me after 3 years. And I woke up to that and thought, Dragon's Den's a bit like that, isn't it? They do really skank you. If you're a good business, I mean, it's got to be up and running, profitable, it's got to be a good business, it's got to have distribution deals everywhere, and then all of a sudden, they really take everything off you. And I thought, what's the advantage of the Dragons there? And I thought I'd sort of take it a bit further. It says, here's where I am. I like the company. I like you. I'm going to make you an offer. And I'll give you none of the money for 100% of the company. Plus, I want your house, car, wife and dog. And after 3 months, if you hit all your targets, plus some, you get your dog back. Okay?
There's a sketch in that, isn't there?
Yeah. Do you want to have a talk with a wall? Yes, please.
Yeah, there you go.
No. But do you see that one yesterday? I just put it on yesterday. And I thought this must have been recorded mid-lockdown, right in the middle of lockdown. Because it was about nose guards. Have you seen this one?
Oh my God, yeah.
They put these little things in your nose, and no one laughed. When you came in, I would have laughed my head off straight away. It's these things you put in your nose guards, right? They sell for 80 quid per nose guard. They're like a fancy dress thing you just buy from a shop for like 5-10 pence. And pre-revenue valuation, there's no revenue in this company, 2 million. And they took a series. They got 2 offers. She got 2 offers. I thought, you insane? I thought this must be the middle of the lockdown.
She hadn't even got to a stage where she'd made it yet.
I know.
Like, it was a prototype.
Well, what's it for then? Was it
what's it for?
It was basically like a little
Sort of like
I don't know.
Like a sort of comic relief nose that you put over your nose, but it's like like the Death Star. So imagine a cross between the Death Star and a comic relief nose.
Yeah, I'm just really
odd.
odd.
Purify air as you breathe.
But is it for COVID though?
Pretty much. It's a fashion statement. But at the moment, people are wearing masks. Deborah said, well, people are wearing masks now, so it's probably not too silly. Taking it. And then I said, I was just thinking, is this a joke? Is this comic relief? I thought it was comic relief. They were laughing at it. I thought, is this serious? They got 2 offers, Tuka, and what's the other guy? The Asian guy was him. He offered as well. And I thought, are you nuts? Excuse me, you're offering 2 million quid for a plastic fake nose. I just couldn't understand it anyway.
And at the end of the show, which is why I sent that message, they absolutely rinsed this woman for half her company, and I mean, quite rightly, she'd overvalued it, but she was like, "Yeah, cool, yeah, have half the company, that's fine."
No, Paul knows it, yeah. I'll take everything off you. Your sofa, your carpets, your curtains. Yeah. I'll have the lot. I'll get them back to you if you hit your target within 3 months, okay? I know they do that, don't they?
Well,
I'll take your mother. Yeah.
Yeah, it is half of nothing. So,
So. Do you know, I had my second jab this week, and I felt a bit odd. But it's a funny situation. We got in there, right, and everything's polite. And there's about 10 people giving. It's very organised. I'm very impressed, actually. But I mean, there's 10 people giving the jabs, and we picked a cubicle where it's a school mum who Megan doesn't get on with. Jabbing us. It's literally the school mum has blanked or been rude to a friend of Megan's who's also a school mum. So Megan's obviously taken the side of her friend and they don't talk to her, ignore her. And we go in there, it's her giving us the jab. And it's like, oh, hello, how are you, all right? And really chatty and nice. And it's really awkward just us in the small booth with this lady. And she said to me, do you want a sticker? I said, no. She said, why? I said, I'm 50. I said, well, why is it so? You can still have a sticker. It's trying to be overly polite. I said, no, I'm 50. I don't want a sticker. I'm fine. I'm okay. And but it was really awkward, you know. And,
this might hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I think she relished it. Really, put a needle in and rolled it around a bit, you know. So
the way I see it, you made it even more awkward by refusing the sticker. I think that's what happened here.
I know. But no, I don't want to pretend to join this childish nonsense about stickers. If there's a little kid, fair enough.
A friend of mine went to have his vasectomy, and
do you want a sticker? What kind of sticker would they give for that?
so he's in the room. He's naked from the waist down. He's in. I've not had a vasectomy myself. Apparently, they put you in some sort of stirrups, so your bits are hanging out and easy to access. And he sat there waiting for the nurse to come in to do the procedure. The door opens, and it's one of his daughter's friends' mums.
Oh, that's awkward, isn't it? Hello, June.
He didn't know exactly. He didn't know that this is what she did for a living. She didn't know that he was coming in for an appointment.
That is so embarrassing. How are you looking at her again?
Sort of awkward school chat while she was cutting him open and tying up his tubes.
Yeah, exactly. So, you off on holidays this year? Maybe, you know. Do you know what made me laugh, actually? I saw Mark Drakeford, the Welsh Minister, and I thought this is an ideal opportunity for him. He said Welsh people now have got to keep it local, don't go on holidays. He said, no, we're not encouraging holidays, keep it local, we don't want people bringing dirty viruses back from foreign countries, you know. So holiday in Wales, everyone. Now, with that in mind, I do have limited availability at my caravan in Treco Bay. 2 slots available next week and 1 on the weekend. You can still email me, caravan@firstminister.com, please. That'd be ideal to sell this caravan there. But do you know what? Have you seen what is getting on my nerves with this Indian variant? It's annoying me, the media. How when you don't know something, they really ramp up. And in fact, did you see the government has almost pleaded guilty to trying to put fear into people at the start of the coronavirus. And this is happening again with the Indian variant, right? Because the Department of Health says there's no reason to believe this variant, will not act like other variants with the vaccination. It should be effective. They just haven't got enough data as yet. And but also, if you look at the stats, the UK is vaccinating now over 52% of its population, whereas India has done less than 10%. So that's why they're in a bit of a bind. No one's vaccinated there, you know. Then taking into account 80% of hospitalisations above the age of 80 of age have all been vaccinated pretty much here. And we only had 19, yesterday was 104, the day before was 99 patients were admitted to hospital with COVID over the last 24 hours. At the height of this pandemic, that was 4,000. It's now down to 99. I mean, that's we can't lock the economy down for 99 people. There's more people admitted with a saucepan on their head being stuck in there, let's be honest. Or maybe, or genitals caught in a vacuum cleaner. I mean, there are, honestly, or paper cuts. 99 people. And people say, the Indian variant. It's just, honestly, we are most vulnerable, have been vaccinated in this country. We get panicked about anything, don't we? What I find it funny from an investing point of view, all the people who hold testing stocks try to ramp up the fear. And all the people who hold sort of leisure stocks say, no, play it down, it's fine.
I do seem to be in the same situation again, though, where it feels like everything has to be binary. It has to be one or the other, open or shut. And actually, there's probably a middle ground where things can operate nice and simply. Like we're on an island, we have ability to control our borders. We could shut the border with a country for a little bit, like lots of other countries did with us. That wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Like it would be a pain in the backside for a few people, I'm sure, but like there are options in the middle ground between locking down.
Yeah, well, they're doing that now, isn't
being
they?
open.
I mean, to be fair, they're doing that now. There's surge testing, which is very good. They're doing more vaccinations in that area, which is very good. I mean, the vaccinations work, honestly. There'll be, like I say, it really reduces the chance of severe illness, especially in the vulnerable above those 80-year-olds and all that. So what we need to do is not, overwhelm the NHS. I don't believe it would be, because most of the populations now, the vulnerable people who end up in hospital are vaccinated. So panic about all this stuff and think, calm down. We've done over 52% of the population is going to be okay.
It's part of life now, isn't it? So it's just...
It's like flu. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Just part of life. And unfortunately, some people will suffer badly, but hopefully very few. And they'll be, because we control it. And hospitals will intake people, but it won't be crazy. So, yeah. I know,
that's exactly. On par. I looked at the figures for flu, right? And I think it was something like 500 people admitted to hospital a month for flu. So we're not far. I mean, let's be honest. It was a new variant, so... Even though people still get admitted to hospital with flu, so we've got to deal with it. That's the way it is. We've got to move on. We can't just keep locking down the economy. What is life? What's the point of life? You have to be locked down all the time. Steve can't go on his weird walks and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I expect that to evolve a little bit. Those walking Steve soon. I think sooner or later, Steve goes up the Brecon Beacon, sticks some wonderful pictures of the scenery there, and him jumping in the middle of the air and snapshot. Sooner or later, they'll all be just naked. With their walking boots on. Yes, we are naturists. The pictures you saw last time, that's when we put our clothes back on. But now, why cover it up?
I did consider it last week, actually, It was just a little bit too cold.
Okay.
Do you know what I was thinking, right? I sent this tweet in the week. I said, big down days is the market's way of clearing out those who lack confidence in their convictions. The ones who will never make decent money. I said, making money in the markets is not easy. It's easy to sell. It's harder to hold, but you get rewarded for it. And he got quite a few likes. So I said, look at that. I said to Megan. It's had about over 100 likes. And Megan said, who do you think you are, Nelson Mandela? I said, I don't think he was a big investor, to be honest.
That's not easy to sell.
I don't understand the reference.
Not me, I know. Who do you think you are, Nelson Mandela? But it's true. Now, I thought of this. I was in the shower, I think I was, again. And I said, let's say if God said to you, whatever supreme being you believe in said to you, then if you said...
Warren Buffett.
Yeah. He said, I'm going to show you a company. This is leading into something, I'm going to show you a company that will give you a relatively safe 5 times your money over the next 3 years. But you will struggle to hold it, because there will be times when the market will make you doubt my judgment. It will also make you fear of losing out, and also you chase other things that will promise rewards, but they'll probably be pop and drop resource stocks. But can you hold on? Can you do that? And I think that's what it's all about investing. It's about looking in the future. I saw the guy today who started Coinbase 9 years ago. And he said, I started Coinbase 9 years ago today, and they floated at 100 billion, didn't they, or something ridiculous. And he said the power of long-term thinking is where it's at. You can't predict short-term movements. All you can do is set a reasonable goal in the long term and stick to it and work towards that. And that's what it is. I've seen people, for example, Escape has had a few sell-offs this week, isn't it? Sellers been in there, and people are starting to panic. Listen, first of all, it gets cheaper. So people say, wow, that's become a bit of a bargain now. And so buyers come in. You always have sellers, but you've got to look at the business. Don't worry about the share price attached to the business. Is the business improving? Why would you sell a good business? That's what it comes down to, isn't it? Why would you sell a good business?
Well, people are trying to second guess why whoever it is that's selling is selling.
I know.
Like that's why for that price to go down so much this week. Someone must have sold quite a lot. Why are they doing that? What do they know that I don't know?
Yeah. Never think that because like I said, I've been investing for so many years now, and it's always going to be sellers in a company, and it's always 99.9% of the time, right? It's subjective. The reason is they're selling because they've made some money, or they want to put it elsewhere, or they've got to pay off the wife because they've had a divorce, and that happens.
It's you, isn't it? You're top slicing.
Listen, I'm not.
Don't start him, Pad.
I genuinely, you panic, Paddy. This is what you do. You panic when there's a sale. When there's a Paddy panic, you do. When there's a middle of sell-off, you say, you ask me if I'm selling, and I say, I've sold less than you. And you said, well, I haven't sold any. Well, I haven't sold any either. I said, I'm holding on to this at least until it gets north of £1.
I know. But, like, we've been here before. Like, we've been here with bids. We've been here with.
Oh, but you can't compare bids to this thing. No. Hang on a second. You can't compare feedback and bids.
I've mentioned some doubts, and then you've said no, you're wrong, and then you sold everything and told us 3 weeks later.
No, hang on a sec. No, bids and feedback. You can't compare those. They have no revenue. They are not becoming cash flow positive. They are pop and drop. Their recent news will pop and they'll drop. They've got to release. That's what the difference is. That's why my investing style has evolved in the last 6-7 years now. In the last few years, from just small caps to small caps that can be mid caps, or micro caps to mid caps, and that means you can only do that in a safe manner by generating real value, which is cash. And that's what they'll do. There's plenty of demand. If you look at the growth that they had, like-for-like sales were above 40-50% in escape rooms, escape hunt. It'll go back to that. So they've got an excellent brand, premier brand. It'll go back to that, and they'll start generating real value. Like I said, they should be valued. This is without franchisees, without the virtual, without the play at home. They should be valued on 3 million per site. Now 18 sites. That's 54 million. They're now valued at 35 million. So they're not overvalued. If you look at this, an investment company, you call it the NAV, net asset value, they'd be at a discount. That's very rare. So I still see this as a bargain. And every site they add will create value. And beyond that, I don't know if you saw a tweet, their Houston operation has been open for, I didn't realise that. Houston, let me say this, last year, we've been opened safely in the US, going on 9 months. So they've got a franchise there. And they'll roll out that. And they'll have lots of good news. Of course, we have the financials coming out next week on Tuesday, I think it is. And it may take a dip because that looks backwards. I said in growing companies, that is a backward look at the company. We know they've been shut for a while, but the stock market looks forwards. So it'll soon rebound and it'll regain new highs. And especially now they're opened up, and I think now they'll accelerate probably their site acquisitions.
It'll be a good test of the support, won't it?
Yeah. I'm not worried. I'm genuinely not worried about a dip because I'm here for I don't know how long. I can't put a time frame on it, but I'm here for a long term, so I don't care.
Yeah, a long time. Not
you
good.
said £1.50. Is that right? You're not selling until then.
Well, yeah, that's 50 sites, and that's without. Listen, and that's on the basis of just 50 sites. That's without.
Do you think these? Do you think these numbers next week will include details of the digital stuff? Or is there enough?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
So that'll be a bit eye-opening, won't it? It'll be interesting to see whether that's what sort of impact that's had.
But they're good. Do you know what? They're good writers in RNS. And and I wouldn't be surprised they put something else in there somewhere that surprises us all.
Like a little game, maybe, like a little information that you have to
unlock the final results. That'd be good. Yeah. Unlock the final results. With this puzzle.
Fill in the blanks. Yeah.
So,
be like a holographic goblin and a chest with a code.
Yeah.
You have to enter the code.
You love a goblin, don't you, Pad? I might get you one for your birthday.
He does love it.
Just imagine that's what escape rooms contain.
He loves a goblin. Yeah. Ask his previous partners. So hang on. So let me say, the year ended the 31st of December. The results will be out. How many months were they shut down for? How many months were they open for? I don't remember how many lockdowns.
They've never been open. They've never been open.
They're open till March, weren't they? And then it locked down. How long were we locked down for in March? Anyone know now?
This March or last March?
Last March.
3 or 4 months.
The first
March.
when we
shut in the 23rd of March. Everything shut down.
Yeah, and for how long?
They reopened a little bit though, didn't they? Because
we all reopened for a little bit. For how long were we shut down? We shut down all over summer, weren't we? Because that's when the fear came in about the pandemic. That's I mean, 2020 now.
Until July. Yeah,
2020.
So March until July.
Oh, is it? Okay. And then we locked down again in November, was it? I think.
End of November. No. You could be in places until the middle of December. It was just before Christmas, all the way through till now, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So we know that sort of. I think they did 2 million at half year in revenue, but of course they locked down again, and now they got. I said we've gone from 8 sites. That's in March back to last year to now 18 sites. So. You understand that there's going to be a lot more revenue coming in now from these sites when they open up, which would be good. So it'll be a lot of difference. So,
Are they all brand new, or is that them buying some of the franchisees?
There's one of the franchisees, Dubai. There's in France, isn't it? Belgium. There's also the new ones opening up with Kingston and Watford. But listen, they're always in talks with shopping centres. and I wouldn't be surprised if they announce one very, very soon.
Yeah.
No, I've no answer because that's what they do. They want to get to 50, and so they've got to be. Richard said they're always chatting to people. It's whether the deal's right for them or not. If the shopping centre they think is overcharged, then just no, don't worry, because it's a buyer's market, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, for commercial land, it's they can take what deals they do. But yes, they've got some good. The thing is, it is basically high footfall centres for people to walk past. When I was in that one in Basingstoke, I was there waiting in the reception for 10 minutes before we started, and about 5 or 6 groups of different people came up trying to get in there, and they couldn't because it was full. So now you have to go online and book now because today is full. And so that's the advantage of having high footfall centres. You have walk-in
How much
trade.
is it?
It's about 20 quid a head, isn't it? I think.
Is it?
Yeah,
They've just opened up one of those axe throwing centres in Croydon, which seems like a strange location.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's going to end in tears.
Axe throwing
This is
centre.
not. Yeah, have you seen that? It's a new craze. It's been big in Shoreditch for a while. It's like a darts board on a wall.
What's the
Shoreditch,
Well, I did go to look for it because I thought they've got lots of sites.
Yep.
But that's £25. I thought that was quite a lot of money for an hour of axe throwing.
Let's be honest, that would get a bit boring, wouldn't it? It's like I can't really see me going back to that. No, do you know where it's come from? That's come from South America. They do have those. Colombia? They do have these. It's traditional.
But in Colombia, you're throwing explosives, which is fun.
Yeah.
So there's explosives in a big mound of clay, and you chuck balls at it, and it blows up. That's fun. Axes in Croydon. I don't know whether that's sensible.
No, high footfall centres with axe throwing. It's not going to work out there, is it? It's just a kid, the kid with the axe in his head, and you think, okay.
Wow.
I think they've got one in Cardiff, but they've also added shuffleboards to go with it as well, so you can do shuffleboard and
That's a nice combination with an axe.
With an axe, yeah.
What's shuffleboards? What is shuffleboards?
Oh, that's brilliant. Have you not tried it yet?
That's good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great pub game.
It's
a bit like bowling and bowls.
Oh yeah.
Well, in fact, it's not like bowling at all, actually. Well, it kind of is.
It's quite like bowling. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what we're seeing here, lads, right, is that there's great appetite for the leisure.
Pent up demand, isn't it?
Yeah, for leisure sector is growing. Leisure is growing.
The price point's got to be right though.
Yeah.
Like £25 for axe throwing. I wouldn't do that.
I can buy an axe for 25 quid and go to the woods, can't I? Just be honest.
Do you know what though? When I was kind of looking at getting into escape rooms, I was speaking to one of my friends who works in the leisure industry, and I was like saying, 20, 25 quid's quite a lot of money, and he was like, no, not at all. That's students will pay that anytime,
Really?
a couple of times a week. Yeah, for doing activities. So yeah,
I find like 15 quid for the cinema. That feels like a lot of money to me. But
I think it's because we're old though. We find the students will just throw money at anything now.
That's it. See, no,
they're not drinking anymore, are they? So they're spending money.
Yeah, I was going to say they drink less. Yeah.
That's good. See, anyway, I'm just look forward, everyone. You got to look down the line. There's only way of making money, really. I think is taking a long-term view, isn't it? And really going for it long-term rather than short-term. You can't trade in and out stocks. It's too hard, and you lose money anyway. Most people trade do not make money. They do not make money. Understand that? They do not make money. Fear is your friend. When it dips, buy into it.
Okay.
Someone reboot him. He's
got stuck on that.
I see. We've talked about this before, but people's top slicing and here and there. Don't tinker around. Just get a good company. Hold it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
Broaden the chat away from just.
No way. Let's narrow it.
It's like a sermon.
Okay.
Let's talk more about escape.
Okay, let's talk about anything you want to talk about this. Any stocks, any news this week you've seen that interest you boys, anything at all?
No.
Well, I'm still in Trackwise, which had a bit of a rise this week for no reason, which was quite nice.
Steve is still holding that. I know, but it's still below the trend, see? I looked at that and I thought, what's going on there? It needs to break out. I did look at the chart, and I don't know why. You have this there again. So when people say, there's no news out now for for sort of player in. No news out now for months. I'm not going to get in until a month before. Again, the dirty, disgusting trader gene. It's a business you're investing in. It's not a share price. It's a business. And so what happens is player in rallies because Richard does a couple of presentations or some news out. So you can't predict that. Just invest in the business. That's like anything. The business. No, but Trackwise should do well. But I should have gone in there way before that. And it was too big for me. Market cap. Again, you got to have a strategy. Got to stick to it. And I didn't. I broke my strategy there and on Illica. With Illica, okay, it paid off because it doubled. But if you've got a strategy that seems to work, stick with it and evolve it, tweak it.
See, I like that. And Illica, I don't have any plans to sell them because, I think probably more from the tech side and a bit more I understand. So I'm quite happy to stay.
I thought you sold it.
Illica, I sold... No, because I was a bit overexposed in Illica, so I sold half of it. So I've still got a chunk in there. So I'm kind of de-risked on that now, but I'm going to just hold that because I reckon in a couple of years' time that could just go bonkers mad, I think.
It could do.
Steve, have you sold any of the 17 stocks that we discovered you were holding? And some that are barely companies?
Of course I haven't. No. As I discussed with you, Pete, when you were down last weekend, I'm using them as a cash fund now. So as and
I forgot that. Yeah.
So as and when I need to cash to buy something else, I will just cash out of them. But
I like how people's make excuses.
Just have cash, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, as a cash fund, I suggest you just hold cash.
For yourself and just go for cash.
It's my depreciating cash fund.
Exactly.
But it's not depreciating though. It is actually going up. So in fact, all those stocks are all slowly kind of increasing in value. So I'm like, well, I might as well just leave them in there because the longer I leave them in there, the probably more money I'll get.
This happened to me, Steve. One of the companies like you that I bought years ago called, I think it was URA. They folded about a week after I bought them.
Yeah. Did you do diligence research on that one, eh?
Right. So they folded and just disappeared out of my portfolio because obviously they weren't the company anymore. And then I get these letters through the post this week about
you asked me that, yeah.
They're now a completely different company that are to do with medical cannabis, and I now own a chunk of that instead.
I did feel a bit sorry for you there, Pad. He texted me. He said, I've got this. He said, what is this? He took a picture of a share certificate. I said, that's actually how they used to do shares. There was no electronic nominee accounts where a bank would hold shares on your behalf. It was like you had share certificates and call people up by the phone to make, transfer it. I said, what you need to do is obviously call up Harry and Larry or whatever you hold a stockbroking account with, and have that transferred into an electronic account. He said, I hold a Nanda as well. I bought, I think it was a grand's worth in the IPO. I've forgotten about it. It's not even in my ISA, but it's still there. Still hold it. But it's medical cannabis, yeah. And Melissa Sturgis was related to URA, and she was also in Nanda. But I said, have a look at the back on the share certificate. Telephone number? He said, no email address. He said, they're trading at 0.75. I got 14,000 shares in this company. What's that worth? But $1,000 odd, isn't it? And I said, looked into it. I said, hang on. So they're about a penny a Nanda. So I said, you've got £146.13, jackpot. I said, hey, ka-ching. That is annoying. I've had that before, where you've discovered a share certificate somewhere. They say some company has folded. And I love that fact. You did your research on a company, you bought into it, it folded a week later. No, I missed something there, obviously, in my research. I missed an important part of the puzzle I've missed there somewhere. Yeah. Maybe it's a lack of cash and then lack of revenue. Who knows?
This seems cheap. I'm going to buy into this.
But with his pad.
I've done
I just
that.
see it as my cash fund.
Cash fund. Touche. I've done that before. I've been sent a certificate through from a stock I held. I thought, hang on, and there's like 7 million shares. Ooh, excellent! Check in, it's worth about 43 quid. Oh, brilliant. And you get that moment where it's almost when the email comes through from the National Lottery. You won the National Lottery. Wow. And normally where it's a lucky dip, they just tell you it's a lucky dip in the email. But it's, log into your account to find out how much it is. And you go there and you get almost a second of like, this could be millions, And you go in there and let you know full well as soon as you log in, you've won £20. Oh, you sods. Just tell me in the email subject. They should do that, shouldn't they? Anything less than, 6 figures, just tell you.
What it is.
But they won't, if you win millions, they won't do that in an email either. They only do that random email up until a certain amount. So.
Oh, Steve knows. Hang on, Steve.
Yeah, I did look into this. I think it's up to like a couple of grand, and then anything over that, then they'll.
Why did you look into it for? Are you seriously think you're going to win?
Well, no,
I'm going to look into this. They'll call me.
Steve does no research into stocks, but researches the lottery.
The potential win on the lottery, yes. Well, I'll research this because I know what to expect when they call me. Right. Hello, Mr. Martin. You've won the lottery. Oh, I know this is the way it works. So Steve sits by his phone, literally, Mondays and Saturdays, whenever they do it. What do they do it now? Is it every day or something?
Every day, pretty much, is a different one. Not that I do that, all of them every day.
Okay.
Have you seen the syndicate?
So what do I do with this paper things, Justin?
Basically, you have to call up Harry and Larry, and they'll transfer it into your account, and then you can sell it. And I think it's an aqua stock, which is the Equus is almost a different market, but it's UK based, but it's a junior market to AIM, so it's not as liquid as AIM even. So you can
ask for the share price, and there'll be it's 0.00001p.
But
it'll cost you more to sell it than it will to hold it.
Yeah, but what I like about that, and I held it because at the time, cannabis was getting quite hot, and regulation was easing around the world. But now everyone's rushed into it, and so they're literally cannabis is, and even now there's a resurgence of cannabis stocks again, but I've just stayed away because there's so much competition in that field. And that's it. Sometimes you look at it, an area of the market that's going to be hot, that's getting the trend. So if you're early, you do very well on anything that's going to be hot.
Well, this is why I invested, because I was a fan of Melissa's work, and I knew she'd come good at some stage. So
it hasn't yet.
I'm just going to hold it.
Right.
So
just going to hold this.
Yeah, no, but literally, it's like I'm watching. In fact, talking about TV, last night we started watching. What's it called? It's with Martin Freeman, and he's at Bent Copper in America, and it's about the Bitcoin stuff and early. It's called GenCoin. This ladies, it's about this bit of fraud, all that stuff. But it was 2017. It's good actually. We started watching it, and I realised this lady's started this new crypto coin, and this was 2017, and she takes it to some bankers. She wants some funding to start the business, and she's mining and stuff. And they just say no. They got the doubts that anyone had for a new business in a new area, and she's trying to explain decentralization to them and stuff like that, and they're not getting it, anything. And I'm thinking, do you know what? Anything like that that's new, take a punt on it, because you never know. I remember trying to get into Bitcoin when I was living just over the road there, and Fred was like 2 or 3, and Monty just been born, and it was hard to get into it. And at the time, like the Bitcoin was $500 a Bitcoin. And I thought even there that's so expensive for a Bitcoin. And I didn't understand anything about it, that I can't have $500 in a Bitcoin. So I didn't have as much money back then. Because 10 years ago, I thought, I'm not going to get into that. And also, it wasn't as, even now, people are worried about fraud on these exchanges. But back then, the exchanges weren't as secure. And I thought, I'm not getting into that. You have to have a wallet. I didn't know, a digital wallet. I didn't understand any of it. But I realised sometimes that, and I said at the time, I talked to Nick Duke on the podcast, those barriers to entry at the start are very good, because if you can get over those barriers to entry and get involved in it early on, it doesn't matter if you're wrong, because the tide will come and it'll list. And I said, now, I think that was 100 times. Is it 100 times? Yeah, 100 times my money I'd have had done from, if I'd held it, of course, $500. That was 100 bagger. Bitcoin. Yeah. And I missed
so is there anything that you're thinking about now? On
yes,
the agenda?
Escape rooms.
Right.
Is there
a way of investing in that?
Yeah, and also digital imaging for pulmonary, issues. That's also going to be big. Yeah,
okay.
And also esports.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should talk about them more.
Yeah, and fintech companies. Companies, a whole 4 fintech companies. They're quite good as well. Yeah. But no, do you know what I'm saying? So things like that, you can. And I talk about that honestly in one of the videos about the value generation of stocks. When you get the hope pipe potential, that's the most aggressive uplift in share prices. But then it pops and drops until. And I do believe it'll happen with crypto. We still haven't had the pop yet, really. The drop. I mean, we've had the pop, but not really the drop, and it's starting to roll over. See, Elon Musk, what's going on there? That's really odd, isn't it? What he's done.
I'm annoyed with that, because I looked at that and I thought, oh, that's a cute dog. That's the one I'll invest in. And again, I didn't.
No, good reason as any. A cute dog. Because let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, there's 30,000 of these things. Like, how do you pick? You go for the one with a cute dog, right?
Yeah, you've got to go for one with a differentiator somewhere. And the cute dog is.
I'm confused what you're talking about now. How are you talking about Elon Musk and the cute dog?
Dogecoin.
Doge.
Oh, right.
Steve, I remember when we talked about Elon Musk before. You didn't know who he was. Remember?
That was a long time ago.
It wasn't. It was like a year ago. I said, Elon Musk, who? And you thought it was a perfume or something. Elon Musk. No, I've never used that. And I said, he's in charge of Tesla. He's quite well known.
I'm pretty sure that was a while back, because I've known him for a while now.
I've known him for a while. By the way, I'm just looking at the chart track-wise. A huge volume yesterday compared to normal. I don't know what happened there. Some funds buying in maybe. Yeah, so what he's done is basically he's been pumping. He's one of the richest guys in the world. He's pumping stocks like I wouldn't even pump stocks, And he's got millions of followers. And I often thought, surely someone should stand in and say, "Fella, you can't do this, really," because a lot of people are buying what you're pumping. Next day, you go on Saturday Night Live and say Dogecoin is a scam, and it falls off a cliff, And then he says, he's going to send Dogecoin to the moon on a Tesla, and he means this. And then next day he says, by the way, we said we're accepting Bitcoin for payment for Teslas? We're going to stop that now because it's not good for the environment, mining, because, of course, most people are mining, they're in China, they're using coal-fired power stations, and it drops off a cliff again, like 10%. They say, what are you doing? And that was done in a statement on his Twitter feed, whereas normally just tweet out, he'll tweet out your poo emoji and you get millions of likes, that kind of thing. It doesn't matter. The level of humor is rubbish. The
one thing in that statement, which I guess people in Bitcoin were relieved to see, was that Tesla aren't selling any Bitcoin. Because I thought, geez, that is just going to pull the rug out of so many.
Do you not think he can only get away with doing this so much, and people are going to start? He's going to start losing credibility. Oh yeah, well, he already has. But I think if he continues to do that, people are going to go, "Well, I'm just not going to." You've done this too many times now. There's only so many times you can.
Cry wolf.
Cry wolf. Yeah.
Did you see Tesla? Apparently, people started cancelling all their Tesla orders and all that stuff, and saying, because fans of him were fans of Bitcoin and Tesla, all wrapped up, and now. They've started, people said, one guy who's a verified account showed his cancellation of the truck. He'd ordered one of their trucks, a big, odd-looking truck, but he cancelled that. He said, and it's true, he said, Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which is the worst emissions of any fuel. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, but we believe it is a promising future. But this cannot come at a great cost to the environment. Tesla will not be selling any Bitcoin, and we intend to use it for transactions as soon as mining transitions to a more sustainable energy. We are also looking at other cryptocurrencies that use less than 1% of Bitcoin's energy transaction. So, but someone said to me, hang on, it's the guy that's got space rockets, he's at the cutting edge of tech, and he just found out now that Bitcoin is... the majority of miners in China using coal-fired power stations. And he uses... Do you see that? He uses... Apparently, Bitcoin itself uses the power equivalents of Argentina for mining.
Yes.
Do you
It's a bit of a red herring that...
He's probably gone out and kind of said that, and I reckon his marketing team have kind of gone, hang on a minute, this is going to backfire on us. I think that's probably what's happened, isn't it?
I think the SEC, which is the Securities Exchange in America, there's the FCA over here, and I think they've had someone's had a word with them saying you can't go on Twitter pumping crapped coins.
Or don't you think this is part of just a massive master strategy, the whole thing? I don't know.
Well, after that, he said it's high time there's a carbon tax in his next tweet. Normally, that's how he tweets, literally one sentence, like a poo emoji, people love it. And then he says, working with Doge devs to improve system transaction efficiency, potentially promising. So now he's looking at Dogecoin again, and just he's like Trump on. He did reveal he's what do you call it? What's that issue he had on Saturday Night Live? He said he's got a mental issue at Asperger's.
Asperger's.
And he's a bit. He seems like that. He's a bit one way or the other, like Trump was on Twitter. I'm mad. Basically.
But don't you think it's either part of a genius master strategy or interwoven with all his different businesses and his interests, or it is just a massive bubble? And where's it all going to end?
Did you see him on Saturday Night Live? He was uncomfortable, geeky. It wasn't funny. I mean, when in his humour on obviously he had loads of geek. He is geek god, isn't he? Basically, Elon Musk, and he plays to that. And he's got so many people who will fall and laugh at anything he does. But and on Twitter, that's fine. He comes across well. He can do anything, and he looks geeky. But on Saturday Night Live, he couldn't deliver the funnies at all. He looked a bit uncomfortable and a bit cringeworthy. And he was a geek, and you think, in fact, he's and I don't know if he has a master strategy. I just think he's a geek, and he sees the power as fun.
World always needs geeks.
Yeah, it does. And I said, I try to encourage my kids. Listen, read books. Honestly, reading, researching, read is free. You can read. I love that. Stocks. Anyone can access, information that the best investors do. Sorry, I just saw someone on TV on Twitter then talking on the camera, and a Greg's plastic bag hits him right in the face, and he's trying to talk with he's on camera. That's good.
But you watching you being framed again?
Someone said, hats off to Greg's official for this amazing effort at guerrilla marketing. He's talking to the camera. Greg's plastic bag is right in the face. No, but I don't know what I was saying then, actually.
No, because you were watching the TV.
I think you were leading on to a plug for your shares club.
Oh yeah, no, the shares club. But in fact, one of the guys I said to one of the guys recently on the chat group, is anyone here who's good at programming? I said, what I want is a site that filters out all the RNSs to the ones that are going to fit my strategy. And that's a certain size company, it's got revenue and all that stuff. And this guy Owen said, yeah, I can probably do that. And he knocks them up within hours. He had it going, a rough version. And then he said, well, that's amazing. And he's done it further. Now it's now on the site now. So basically, you don't have to trawl through hundreds of RNSs looking for stocks. You just look at
paid for that?
Yeah, no, because I paid him for it. Yeah, because he works. He's a good programmer, and I paid him. And yeah, but it's amazing. So
and release that to be able to buy and sell shares, so it spots.
Yeah. Well, no. So it's good though, isn't it? So basically, people often say to me, suggest stocks to me, right? Say, oh, have you seen this stock? And it'll be like 150 million market cap. I said, listen, no, I don't want to be rude, but there's too many opportunities in the market. It really is. There's opportunities everywhere. And that's why you should never have fear of missing out, because they are like buses. One will come along in a minute if you do enough research. And I said, the problem is you've got to focus on the areas you know will produce the best rewards. And I said, that is sub 20 million. If you look at the stats every year, top 10, 80% of the best performers come from that area of the market. So just fish in that area of the market. Try and get to the point where you can focus your energy in a prolific area. If you're looking all over the market to, FTSE 100 companies, to mid caps, it's just too much. You can't do it. It's like 3,000 listed companies pretty much across all markets in the UK. And if you can't go through all those RNS, it's just ridiculous. So it's almost like trying to find, where did winners come from? And then looking in that area only, and then looking at certain traits of winners. And so that website does that. It finds news.
It'd be a pretty simple thing on Vox just to set that up, no?
Well, yeah, but no, because people don't want that, do they? It's like this is a strategy I've come. It's a 9-point strategy that I've come about, and it's just it's just for the members,
customized for you.
Yeah, just for the members. See, and because I often find most people, I see people on Twitter jumping around all kinds of plays. And there's always a recovery play. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's no strategy. That's the way you lose, because you've got to be good at something. It's like in your areas of work. We said this before. Like Pete, knows about SEO that none of us do, and Steve knows about cameras. Apart from he doesn't know there's a zoom feature on a camera. He knows about stuff like that. We never. And Paddy knows about sex toys that none of us wouldn't know about.
Yeah. And axe throwing.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the sex toy thing. So, that's the dungeon.
All our careers got a pump then, apart from you, Pad.
Thanks.
What is
That's probably fair,
no, Paddy, what do you actually do there?
Not very much.
Production.
Not very much, really.
Yeah, TV production. He knows a lot more about that than I do.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, exactly.
Thanks, Pete.
No, Paddy is very good, though. He is a man. You are a bit of a detail man and a bit of an anarchy
He's a good boy. No, he's very good.
No, fine. No,
he's a good boy.
You don't say he's a details man. He does look at stuff like that. So this can be improved and all that. So yeah, and do you know what I'm saying? Though you have to specialise. I'm saying, and I keep saying this. Yeah. I'm not going to go to an optician and say, do us a favour, have a look at the gangrene in between my toes, will you? Because they're not going to know anything about that, Or even just go to a GP and say, I've got, can you operate on my brain, please? But they wouldn't do that, So focus on the best area to make money, and that's microcaps, and then get good at it, and you get better at it, like anything, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that all ties in with what you're saying in terms of top slicing, people jump from this to that, and thinking they know which way the price is going to go on a stock, and some will play a blinder and sell at the top and buy in another stock at the bottom or something and do well, but lots of people won't, and you'll just get caught out.
No, especially sometimes I see people jumping in and out because they don't have, and I did that when I first started. You don't know how to research first and foremost, and then you don't know what to research, and because you don't know what the company's worth or what the potential is, you haven't got confidence in your holding there. So any movement in the share price, you think something's got to be wrong. That's the talk of inexperienced people. Say something's got to be wrong, the share price is going down. No. That's how you get a bargain. That's the difference. So the inexperienced guy will sell because the share price is going down. The experienced guy will buy because the share price is going down, and they know the business. And that's this disconnect between the share price and the business itself is where the opportunity lies.
Yeah, but my favourite kind of saying to do with investing is the whole thing of whenever there's a transaction, there's a buyer and a seller, and they both think they're a genius. because they both think they know. They know which way. But yeah,
that's the background on my profile on Twitter.
That's where I've got it from. Yes.
So
exactly.
one of the funny things about the stock market is that every time one person buys, another sells, and both think they're astute.
Yes,
it's true. Just so make a profit, someone just bought, and yeah, exactly. It's like people, you often see people who bought Bitcoin at $100, and they sold it. In fact, Nicola Duke did that, and she did very well. She bought Bitcoin at something like $100, $60, and
Right.
she had a 10 bagger on it, $600. That's, and I mean, look at the time. That's genius. And I never knew it was Bitcoin. You did 10 bags on that, but look how much she could have got. It's like, wow, that is. You think, So yes, but there we are.
That's a 10,000 bagger then, isn't it? She almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The only winner out of this group would have been me on Bitcoin buying
Yeah,
back.
no,
That's true. That's true.
Steve, I expect that to happen one day. Honestly, I expect you to say one of the stocks you hold will just keep rising and rising and rising and rising, and it'll make you a multi-millionaire. And say, see, that's the way you do it. And what's
Ananda Developments PLC.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking at this thing. What is it? This show that
I just thought it's not 10,000, it's 1,000 bagger, isn't it? I was thinking, that can't be right. No, because it got to $60,000, didn't it, Bitcoin, roughly?
Yeah.
That's 1,000. Yeah, wow. Still incredible.
It's called Startup. 2016-2017. Startup.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, Martin.
I saw that. Yeah, I wasn't sure it was going to be any good. It's good, isn't it?
Started off good. Yeah. So TV recommendations. Steve, what's that thing that I suggest that to Megan?
I watched that. I thought it was good.
It was good, wasn't it?
It
just needed a bigger budget, didn't it?
Just a little bit more money on some of the special effects were weird. Some of them were all
don't
right,
want that,
some of them
then.
were terrible.
I'm not a big fan of sci-fi, really.
It's not really sci-fi.
Whereas people trapped in a cave in it and time warps.
It's more about sort of time travel and yeah.
So
But it's good.
Megan kept calling it time travel.
What was it called?
Time travel.
Right, okay.
But Martin Freeman's Startup, it's quite like it because he's done well in America, isn't he?
Is that I looked at that, but it obviously only made it to one series, and so I thought, well, I'm not going to bother them.
2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Looking at it, yeah.
All right.
Startup is an American streaming television. It's created by Ben Katai.
Oh yeah, Ben.
Yeah, I like Ben. It's premiered the series stars. What's
Is he doing his American accent again, or is he just stuck with British?
It's American action, yes. A startup follows the emergence of GenCoin, a brilliant yet controversial tech idea centered on digital currency, an idea that gets incubated on the wrong side of the tracks by 3 strangers who, so it's funded by dodgy money, and that's the trouble, who don't necessarily fit the mold of tech entrepreneurs, and a crooked FBI agent. He's the crooked FBI agent. So we started watching it. But as it is on a Friday night, we have a few drinks, start talking, and then we'll rewind that. And we're really bad at watching stuff. Last night we said, right, let's switch the phones off. And put the phones down, no distractions. And then Monty or Fred will come down. We're trying to watch TV. Just get back to your cage.
Yeah. What do you mean the house is on fire?
I know. But we're trying to try and watch that. Any other recommendations, boys? In fact, book-wise, I'm now into, what's his name? John Grisham is the man, isn't he? See how many likes he got on? I was reading other books by... I thought it was good dramas, but he is the guy, isn't he? I mean, if you look at it, no one gets the amount of reviews that he gets, like 50,000 likes or 5-star reviews. But I've started with, what was it, the Pelican Brief one there. Oh no, just finished the Pelican Brief, and now on the client. I've done the firm, but yeah, I like that. But
they're really,
they are good. Any other TV stuff with watching, boys? Oh, The Moneymaker. Have you watched that Channel 4?
No.
Someone suggests that. I'm going to watch it. It's a bit like. In fact, look it up. Moneymaker Channel 4 just started. There's a guy that goes around and invests in businesses.
Oh yeah, I did see a bit of that. It looked a bit tin pot.
Yeah, no, someone said it's okay, but Moneymaker, all for it's worth watching. He's an American guy, but he's lived in the UK for a long time, and his name is Eric, I think. Alex. No, it goes back. Eric. Eric is the guy, but he invests in different businesses. So it's worth watching that if you like it. Anything else, boys? We're chatting about anything else?
I've really got into Parks and Recreation. I know it's really old.
I heard that. I never heard of it.
I've never. It's been around for like.
You've never heard of it?
Never heard of it. Oh, I've heard of it, and I've watched a bit in the past, but never really thought it was any good. But I've started from the start on Netflix, and it's silly but it's funny.
I was told the first season is really bad, but it hits a point in the season 1 where I think they changed writers or something, or maybe season 2, and it just completely changed. And apparently that's when it gets really good.
Yeah, it just gets really silly. Well, it's silly, funny, entertaining. Yeah, it is good. It's very lighthearted.
What is it about?
Parks and Recreation Department of a local city council in Pawnee in Louisiana or somewhere.
US. Okay, yes, please.
It's kind of filmed a little bit like My Family, so that kind of like. Is it documentary kind of like?
Yeah, fly on the wall.
What's My Family? What's My Family?
My Family.
Is that cheesy?
Like The Office.
Cheesy. My Family. That cheesy UK one, isn't it? With Robert Lindsay.
Oh, hang on. Is it called My Family? You know what I'm on about, don't you?
Yeah, the one that's on Sky.
It's on Sky. Yeah, it's an American one, massive, like one of the biggest.
Okay. I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay.
Right, lovely. Right, boys, I'll see you next week. All going well, as long as the Indian variant doesn't, knock us down.
What time are we doing the live show next week?
Plan?
Oh, yeah, pre-plug this off here. Oh, we should plug it to people that listen to it now.
Are we doing 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock?
I don't know, Steve. Depends on how you want to get, because you take like 3 hours to get your lights sorted, don't you? And all that stuff.
I must admit, 10 o'clock works better for me, because I don't get up at 6 o'clock then.
Wow.
10 a.m. Then we've messed up a little bit on the timings, but we've booked in 2 p.m. Drinks and food at the local pub in a booth, and then Steve wants to go for a walk. Then I'm keeping my.
Oh, nice.
You suggested things to do, so I thought a walk would be nice. We can take Lola the dog for a walk as well.
Should we just walk to the pub?
Yeah, the pub.
You keeping your clothes on, Steve?
Yeah, the pub is about half an hour walk away, but we can walk somewhere before that. But yeah, Lola loves walks. I've never seen anything. Dogs are so amazing. They just find pleasure in such simple things in life. She goes nuts, 100 miles an hour everywhere. And I've never seen. How can you love life so much? Phenomenal. I love it, and I'd recommend everyone get a dog. Everyone.
Okay.
But you look after it though. It'll be nice too.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's my tip. The ticker is DOG, not Dodge. No Dodge, dog.
Right. Okay.
Lovely. Thanks for that. Speaking next week, boys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.